good evening. My name is Chastity Buckley. I'm the host of Midnight R&B Edition, Homage Midnight Love BET, where I give all my flowers to all my R&B artists, singers, songwriters, and producer. And I have an R&B legend. And I'm going to make sure I get his name right because I don't play those games over here.
Right,
he is a singer, a songwriter, 25 plus years in the game, the one, the only Mr. Link. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, look, I'm honored to have you because, like I told you, you've been in my life, since I was 8?
Bloody boy, that's cold, boy.
Look, when you got a young child like myself, have known about your music since the age of 8 from your pen, that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if a lot of people will tell you that, but honestly, you've been in my life since I was 8.
Oh, well, okay. I feel a little, you're making me feel some kind of way about it, but it's cool. So I appreciate it.
Look, I'm honored to just even have you, and thank you so much. And guys, today we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of LSG's album, Levert.Sweat.Gill. And I'm just so honored to have you here because you made so many iconic songs, but especially the song My Body. Woo! That's my jam.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a very, very, very special record to me, very dear to my heart, man. So
yes.
The fact that it's been 25 years. I appreciate it.
I mean, tomorrow will be the official day of the album, but for you in 1997, I know that meant a lot. I know we're going to talk about that, but before we do get to that, I want to ask you, because I know it's been a crazy time in this pandemic. How have you been?
Oh, I'm good. I'm hanging in there, man. Like you said, it's been crazy outside, but, due to just God being so good to me, I'm still here, still hanging in, man. So, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep going for as long as we can.
Right. And I'm honored just to even have you because I know you got new music, Garage, your new single out that came out this year. Very dope song, very catchy lyrics that you got going on with that song. But
Thank you.
I'm honored to have you because I know we're going to be talking about LSG, Levert.Sweat.Gill. But I know also, too, today is the 16th anniversary of the passing of the one and only Mr. Gerald Levert. I wanted to know, do you have, any memories of him at the time you spent time with him, during the process when you did, LSG? But, what memory do you have of Gerald Levert?
Oh, I have several memories of Gerald, man. That was my big brother, man. That was my mentor at the time, man. He was the one who kind of showed me how to be an entertainer, how to give, go that extra mile. Like when you think that you've done, your best, he was right there saying, "Look, man, hey, I love you, bro." He said, "You did a great job, but I think you can do better." So he was always on me. Trying to drive me to be better than I thought that I was, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely have a lot of fond memories of Gerald, man, and I miss him tremendously.
Oh, and it's amazing that, I didn't know that today was the day of his passing, so it was like, a full circle moment for all of us. But I think for you, what you did for them 25 years ago, I feel like for LSG, you gave them a start, with the supergroup that it was put on. I know we're going to get to that, but I want to get to know about you as a person.
Right on.
Think as songwriter, your pen is dope, sir, but we need to get to know about you and who you are as a person. So I know you're from Dallas, Oak Cliff. Now, I used to live in Dallas back in the day.
Right on.
So I know you're from Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas, and also too that I know you got your start in the gospel area, and I know one of your influences was Donny Hathaway. So I want to talk to you about, what made you go into the realm of music, but not that, what inspired you to go into music, and not even that. Who were some of your influences like when you were growing up, with R&B music?
Well, you said it, man. It was for me, it was Donny Hathaway. He is the reason why I still sing today because in high school, man, I had a friend and he kind of turned me on to him. He said, "Man, listen to this dude, man." And when I heard his voice, I was just blown away just by the way he sounded, just how silky smooth his vocals were.
Right.
So incredible to me, man. And he basically just kind of inspired me to become who I am because I wanted to do that. I wanted to when I heard him singing, I was like, man, I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my inspiration comes from Donny Hathaway, like 100%. It was him.
That makes sense because like I said, with your voice, you have this the voice, but not even that. I feel like with your songwriting, like with Donny, your words mean something to the culture. You know what I'm saying? And what you do, for a lot of stuff, especially all those songs that you have wrote, through the 90s, I felt like you gave us a time where people could just feel good. You know what I'm saying? And just have, couples and music. You know what I'm saying? Because Donny has made songs like that. You know what I'm saying? This Christmas stuff.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, man. That was always an intent of mine. I'm not, you know, still to this day, I'm really not into like the faddish or what's in style right now type of stuff. I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't really get into that. I always just try to, you know what I'm saying, make my music as real as possible so people can relate to the music. Even if it is 25 years later, it can still have the same effect on them at that time that it did the day that it dropped. You know what I mean? So that was my motivation for writing music, and it will continue to be.
You better come on, preach, because like, at the end of the day, a lot of kids been made off your music. So when you can create a generation, I feel like is when you create another generation for the next youth. I feel like to me that speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that people like yourself that really have done a lot in this industry need to be recognized for what they have. You know?
Well, I thank you.
Oh, no problem, 100%. But before we do get to that, I know for sure I want to ask you how you got your start in the industry. But did you go to Prairie View first when you went to college, or then how did that come around, and how did you get with Gerald? Because I know y'all in a group with Protege. So how did that come to formulate as yourself into like in your first break?
Well, basically, man, you know, Delight and myself, we had a mutual friend. His name was Leonard, and Leonard used to always tell me about how dope Delight was, and Leonard used to always tell Delight about how dope I was. Right? And at the time, Delight had moved to California. He was on the hunt trying to make it, and I was on my way to Prairie View A&M on a basketball scholarship to hoop. So after college, you know what I'm saying, because I put college first because that's what was kind of preached to me, like education, whatever. Even though the hunger for music was constantly burning and growing in my heart, right. I put it on the back burner first because I just figured I could always do that. But let me get this out the way first.
Right.
When I finally came home from hooping, we finally got a chance to meet. And from the time we met, man, we was making music literally from the moment we met. And it just went on for the next 20 years, man. So yeah, man, you know, it's crazy when you meet somebody who shares the same passion about the same thing that you do. You know, that's very rare. You know what I'm saying? And that is one thing I can say, that we both share that same passion for music, and it's evident in the music that we have kind of put out in the atmosphere.
That part, because I mean, 25 years later, for you to even get some icons, they're going to show right there first out the gate. You was like set on your way. But I know before we got to LSG, I know for sure you were with Eddie F. The Untouchables in '93.
Correct.
So with that, I want to know, like, how did you get, I guess, in New York with that? And because I know you said at the time you working at the bank and stuff like that, and there the light played a huge role into you with the demos. So with that, like, how did you get with Eddie? Because that's legendary. And I know you with intro and stuff in New York. So how did you get your start going in there, and how did you get with that?
Okay, so basically, like you said, at the time, I was well, this is the Eddie F joint. Okay, so what we did, when Delight and I and myself hooked up, and we saw how magic our music was together.
Yeah.
Delight talked me into joining the group, which was Protege. So we put the group together, and we had another guy who actually lived in New York at the time, and his name was Dave DeBerry.
Right.
This guy actually was a producer himself, and he was like, "Yeah, y'all dope, man. Blah blah blah. Let's do something." Long story short, we went to New York. We lived with Dave. He had a studio in his crib, so we just got in the studio. We made music, you know what I'm saying? And then once we made what we felt like was a comfortable demo, we began to kind of shop around and to certain labels. Back then, showcases were real big.
Right.
Did a couple of showcases, and we got on the radar of Eddie F at the time. And you know, back then, Eddie F was popping with it.
Was he?
You know what I'm saying? He was full blown, so that was real big for us. So
yeah,
he gave us a shot. We went and met up with him, had a couple of conversations. Man, he, you know, wanted to make sure that we were the voices that he was hearing on the demo. So he said, "Yo, come live for us." sing something live for me right now. Boom, we dropped something right there. And he was like, bet. You know what I mean? So, and then he signed us up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we hooked up with Eddie F in New York.
So, okay, so now thinking about that, you were in the era kind of like when Intro came through H-Town and like Jodeci. So, like, were you like influenced by them, just seeing that process at the time? And then, like you said, New York, this is different from Dallas, from the South. So, like, did it kind of prepare you, or did it kind of like give you kind of like a grit to you to work harder and just not even that, learn from other groups, or not even that, or did you just know you were gonna go solo?
You know, I was me being a solo artist was always in me. It was there. You know, it took Delight a little bit of convincing for me to join the group, because I was, you know, I get like hell in the beginning, like, nah, man, I don't want to deal with any group. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I knew me, and I knew, you know, my passion and how I felt about it, and I just, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to deal with anybody who didn't feel like me with music. So I was hesitant about the group. You know what I'm saying? But Intro was out when we signed with Eddie, and Intro was dope.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I love their sound, and all I could think about, I said, damn, if we get that sound, we gonna kill people.
Right.
It just so happens during the time, Jodeci had just hit the scene. And we absolutely loved Jodeci. We were blown away by their vocals and how they looked and just that whole style. Like, we was like, oh my God. You know, us were gods back then. So we weren't necessarily influenced by Intro, but definitely Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Right. Oh my God, you got Chad Elliott in the chat. Oh my God, you got some legends up here. Oh gosh.
Right on, right
on. Come on, legends. Look, legends with legends. That's how we do it. Okay.
That's what's up.
Right. And you know, Lincoln, that's amazing that you said that, because that's what Daryl told me when I interviewed him for Casey and JoJo when we did, you know, X. And he talked about like y'all were into Jodeci heavily.
Oh, I mean, deep. Like deep. Like, yo, we was the clothes we were wearing, acting. We thought people saw us, they were like, damn, they kind of remind us of Jodeci a little bit.
Right.
You know? And we was loving it. We was eating all that up because we thought the illest group ever at the time.
Yeah. And that's why I said it's so amazing when you said you got with Eddie Up. It kind of brings you in that realm of understanding, I think, the business of what you got. But not even that, you were really serious about your craft. You know, I think you and Daryl both as a whole. But I feel like, you know, I guess you and Bro say y'all dispersed. So with that being said, like, did you kind of like go back into that, or like how did you go off and then start with your solo artists? And then we get into kind of in that realm.
Well, basically what happened was, like, once we signed with Eddie, we were supposed to come out on his label and do like a little deal with Motown. And what happened was, for whatever reason, we were shelved, and we didn't really get the opportunity to come out as a group. So after about a year, I was like, yo, you know, I said, listen, I can't do this waiting stuff. Like, I love y'all, man. Y'all my brothers. Y'all gonna be my brothers for life. But at this point, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go on. I gotta move on. And kind of mutually agreed that it was time for me to do it, because I was a little older than the other guys in the group. So it was like, yo, I can't sit around and wait 2 or 3 years for someone to decide to put us out. I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So basically, you know, we kind of mutually agreed, all right, man, bet. I came back to Dallas, got a job. Fendi, that's my dog. I'm sorry. Stop it. And Delight, you know, he regrouped. He went to New York, and he started, you know, building relationships with people in the industry.
Right.
People like Sylvia Rohn and Marilyn Bob, who was over at Elektra. He, you know, kind of made a little headway in the game, did a couple of remixes. I think he had a remix for In Vogue, and he had worked on a couple of artists. And, you know, we always stayed in touch, man, and we kind of just basically say, hey, listen, when the time is right,
come back and get me.
time is right, man, we're going to bring you up, and then we're going to put it down, man. And sure enough, he stayed true to his word. You know, we had a conversation. He was like, Link, it's time for you to come on up. I came up. We knocked out a demo, man, and that demo included my body.
Come on.
And we shopped around, and in the midst of me getting the deal for myself, that's when Elektra said, "Yo, we gotta have that record right there for LSG," and that's
Right.
how basically.
Right. Like you right. And I remember you saying that that was your song. That was your song, period. Because it was
Yeah,
supposed to be for you. But
yeah,
with that, I know with that being said, because you got your deal off of that, like with My Body, is that Antoinette in the background vocals? Because I know that's you singing in them backgrounds. I know
yeah.
your voice.
That is myself, and that is Antoinette as well. Yep.
And nobody never noticed that, because I'm like, okay, I know she's, songwriter as well in this song, but for you, y'all sounded so dope because y'all blending so well with LSG. And I know we're kind of getting now into the album wise. Like with you, how did you feel when you had to give that up? Like, did you want to give that up? Because I know you said you were hurt about it, but how did you feel when you did start, get into? Because I guess we kind of getting around. How did you get introduced to LSG? If that makes sense.
Well, the way that happened is like I said, Light had a relationship with Merlin Bob and Sylvia Rome,
Right.
and at the time, and we didn't even notice, they had signed Gerald, Levert, Keith Sweat, and Johnny Gill, as a group, and had worked on an album, had been working on an album. So basically, the album was finished.
What?
So yeah, it was finished. And so when the Light went to Elektra to shop my demo, they were so blown away about the song. They was like, "Oh yeah, 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 we gonna sign Link. Yes, we gonna sign him. Yes, but that song, we need that song, right?" So Light came back and told me what was up, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not giving up my song." You know what I'm saying? I said no. That was because we knew that song was gonna be a game changer. You know what I'm saying? So literally for about 2-3 months, man, they was like on me every day. Link, we gotta have that song. We gotta have it. And I was constantly saying no. And then one day we just had a real conversation, with my team, and was like, "Look, no, you don't want to get a song up, but here it is." Like from a business standpoint, it would be a dope move because you will always be able to say that you had the first single on that legendary act.
Right.
Oh, it's gonna be a first single. It's still gonna change the game. You got 3 legendary vocalists who will be singing your song.
Yeah.
The publishing on it is gonna be ridiculous, and it's gonna open up doors for you as a writer.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So after having that conversation, I went ahead and relented. Of course, they broke me off.
I know you look. You ain't giving them nothing unless you gonna break me off.
That was part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? They made it. You know what I mean? They made me off and refuse.
Yeah.
And, the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? So, and they took the record and they did exactly what we thought they were going to do with the record. They took it to #1.
Yep.
And still right to this day, that record is still, you know what I'm saying? That still bumps, man. It still bumps. So, I made the right decision. It was a tough one, but I made the right decision.
But you know what's so amazing though, Link? You knew in your heart that you had a hit before it was a hit.
Oh, yeah.
And come on. And I think that's the gift that you have, because for you to believe in yourself, regardless of you giving it to LSG, you just knew that you were going to change the sound. Because for me, and I had an interview, like I said, with Gerald last year, 2 years ago, we talked about how big the sound was with that song, because that was not what we were used to. We weren't used to like the songs being interpreted with the sound and then making sense, but not even that it was a flow. It just smoothed out so well, And like I said, for me, listening to that, and mind you, love Keith Sweat, love Gerald, love all of them, grew up listening to them, but then having this super group, I was like, okay, this is not what we used to. And then it's a sound with this. And it was amazing because in the 90s, we didn't really have it. Everybody was, into the New Jack Swing, but that was kind of dying out a little bit,
Yep,
I think for you and Daryl to do this song, it just really caught everybody off guard. But not even that, you had LSG legends.
Right.
So,
well, I got to credit Delight for that, because Delight he created the track first. Like when we were planning on doing the demo and whatever, he let me hear the track. And at first I was like, oh man, I don't really know, man. And he kept saying, man, you crazy, Link. He said, you crazy, man. This track is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I couldn't hear it in the beginning because I was like, well, what am I going to do on this record? You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, yo, we got to flip it. We can't do no normal, you know what I'm saying, cadence on it. We got to go ham on this. We got to you know, let's flip it, like let's do it like Bone Thugs and Harmony would do an R&B record.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. So once we got started, then I started hearing it. I said, oh, okay. Oh yeah, we out of here with this joint. We out of here.
But I think it's amazing with your pen, because even though you had Antoinette in the background, I'm like, okay, we got a female, you know, responding to your backgrounds. But for you as a whole, bringing, you know, the legends, a legendary song with this outside of what they were used to, I think this was truly amazing. I have to give you so much respect for that, because for me being touched by that at 8 years old, yes, guys, don't judge me. Yes, I was 8, but I loved it, because for me, the sound for me, I'm a producer girl. Like, I love Rodney Jerkins. I love people like that make different sounds with their music. But I feel like a person like yourself, to bring that pen, you're telling a story. And it's love making story, but it's the story that people like, you know, love to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we're in the realm of huge R&B records that really had a sound of being contemporary and stuff like that. But you came in with something, it was just amazing. I have to give you so much respect for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes,
I had an amazing squad that was with me. That it wasn't just me by myself. It was along with Delight. That, you know, we had a real squad, man. So, you know, the motivation was there, man. You know what I'm saying? That everybody was uplifting. Everybody was like, yo, we got to be the illest in the business.
Right.
You know, our goal. So, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just me. It was my crew, man.
A lot of babies were made off that, sir.
They are still being made.
Okay, right? Look. And it's crazy that you said that, because, you know, we just said it went to #1. It went #4 on the pop charts, #2 in R&B. And not even that yourself, this song's been sampled 6 times. I mean, you got legends like Pretty Ricky, who, I mean, I wish, in all honesty, if we didn't have that pandemic, that song, and the song still is dope. But I think if we would have that, it would have been boom, 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 boom. But I love it, because I love Pretty Ricky. You got R&B, the Static Major, he sampled this song. I mean, you got a lot of hip-hop people that have sampled this song. So how do you feel that people in the hip-hop industry have really, really taken this song, you know, to life, and not even they have brought it into their music, you know?
Hey, it's an honor, man. Anytime, you know, people can reach back and listen to a song and be inspired to make another song because of how that song makes you feel, man, that's a beautiful thing. That's really what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? That's growing the genre of music. And it went even past R&B, like you said, with Pretty Ricky. You know what I'm saying? Just adding their own little spice to it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a beautiful thing. Not to mention that anytime it's sampled,
gotta go through you.
boy, you gotta come see me.
Come on, cause
listen, anybody else, y'all want to sample the music, you can go sample it right now. You got my permission.
Come on.
And yeah, but real talk though, it's just a blessing and honor. And you know, it just kind of you know, just makes you feel like that you were on to something and you knew what you were doing. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how did you feel when Keith last year, him and Bobby had their verses? Your song was on there.
Oh, it was.
And I want to ask you, how did you feel about that? Because, you know, Keith was a little bit crazy at that. Because I know, you know, Keith was.
he was wired up that day.
He was. But how did you feel that it made, like, a platform like Versus for people to hear that song again? And not even that, it went against Bobby's song, something kind of Whitney Houston. So you had that going against, but not even that. That was on Billboard about the song and how amazing it was. But not that. How did you feel when Keith did perform that song on Versus?
It's just absolutely honored. You know what I'm saying? That you know, still to this day, you know what I mean, that song is still resonating. You know, that just kind of, you know, that, hey man, this was a real dope record from the time it came out and even still to this day. You know what I'm saying? To be able to sit back and watch Keith and Johnny, you know what I'm saying, continue that legacy and continue to carry it on. I wish so much that Gerald was still here with us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I was honored, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to say, hey, listen, that is something that came from me and my squad that we created back in the day. And lo and behold, here we are 20 plus years later, and that song is still being respected and received in the manner that it was supposed to.
Amen.
Very honored.
Amen. But seeing Keith up there, I was like, oh Lord.
You know, that's Keith. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Look, Link, you
No.
know Keith more than I would, so I have no idea how he is. But seeing that person, I said, "Oh, this the real Keith Sweat we get."
Yeah, that's Keith right there. He was in his element that day.
Was he? But I just thought it was so dope to see your song up there because, you know, even Keith, mind you, love Keith to this day, but Keith has to play that song. That is a banger in his catalog.
Oh, no.
He had to play that, and he was gonna go against the verse.
No doubt about it. He wasn't. He can't. Come on now. Come on. He was no way. He was going to. That was one of his. You know what I'm saying? One of his thumpers, man. It's like it's when you put that song out, and then you looking at the joke and say, okay, come on. They got to come on with something. That's not. You know what I'm saying? So he had to bring that out of the repertoire.
He had to, because look, if he wasn't, I was gonna say something. Look.
Yeah, he had to.
And I'm gonna say, look, I was gonna say, Link, there, what's going on? Because what we not gonna do, this is his legacy, and he has to play this. This was a #1 hit.
No doubt, no doubt about it. No doubt.
But yes, congratulations on that. So now, sir, since we talked about your lovely time with LSG, now I want to get to know about you and your hits.
Okay.
You made hits like "Beat in My Bedroom," another song of mine I love. You made "Crazy." You made "Talia." That's actually gonna make 20 years next year with her. Not even that. You finna get ready to make an anniversary, sir, next year. Sex Down is about to be 25 years old next year. Yes, sir. Look, Link, you got to do it big next year, sir.
Hey, I'm trying to do it big every day.
Okay.
I'm trying to wait till next year. Next year is not promised. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm trying to get right now.
Right, that part. And you make other songs like "If You" is another one of my favorites. But I love "Let's Make Love." The one you did with Silk. And you just had that sound. You and Daryl just have this combination like a Michael and Quincy that I just admire and love. Since I've talked about all these hits, sir, what is the key? Since you are a dope songwriter, what is the key to making a hit record? And if you know that, what is your favorite hit from your catalog?
The key to making a hit record, what I've learned is simplicity, and that is really something that is kind of difficult for a lot of people to grasp. That's why they call the certain part of the song the hook, because that's the part that the listeners are going to remember. If you can create something that is simple and catchy and melodic at the same time and easy to remember, then it's easier for the record to become a hit. You know, and that's something that Delight was extremely good at. When it comes to making a hook, he could dumb them down to the point where, you know, you get tired of saying it yourself, but once the record was finished, you understood, you know what I'm saying, why it was done that way, because it's so catchy and so easy to remember. You know what I'm saying? So just that, and touching on topics that are real to people. You know what I'm saying? Not no made up, you know what I mean, fantasy stuff that's just, you know what I'm saying? Those songs don't last.
Yeah.
But just real hit records, like when you listen to some of the Earth, Wind, and Fire records from back in the day, they still hit right now because those were real records. You know what I'm saying? The Isley Brothers had hits from back in the day that were real records. They still impact you right now because of the subject matter.
Yep.
You know, that hook was very simple, catchy, melodic, and the subject matter was something that everybody can relate to. That is the key to making a hit record.
You better preach. You preaching tonight. Look, you are preaching.
Right on.
But I appreciate that. So, sir, I got to still ask you though, what's your favorite hit, or do you have a favorite hit?
Listen, that is impossible for me to answer, you know, because I love them all for different reasons.
Right.
You know, I have some records that are favorites of mine that the world may never hear. You know what I'm saying, because it could be what I was going through at the time, or how the record made me feel when I was going through whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so difficult. To just pick one record, but it's just so many of them, man. I love them all.
I be trying to catch out and see what one, but I think the one for me that I love by you is gonna be probably "If You."
If You.
Oh
no.
God, you got John hitting Prince notes.
Right on. The thing was, we at the time, that we got the opportunity to work with Silk, you know, John hadn't really been featured like that.
Yes. And
he would get little bits and pieces, and when we got to him, we was like, yo, this dude vocals are incredible.
Right.
So, to highlight him a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? So we had him, and he brought the record out.
Preach. Look, you got people saying "Don't Run Away" makes me cry.
Say what?
They said "Don't Run Away" makes me cry. Look, oh Lord.
Well, you know, hey, I can understand that. That was a very beautiful record. Like that was the first record for me that I can say that I had to. It was difficult for me because I had to channel my inner Tony Braxton, so to speak, because that I couldn't just sing the song like I sang other songs. I had to melt into the song and delve into the record because of the lyrical content and what the song stood for.
Yeah.
So I had to just make sure that song was, you know what I'm saying, real special, because it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with that. And that's why I said Link, it's so memorable for me, for all the stuff that you've done for just all of us. It just goes to show you that, you know, your music stood the test of time, because you compare Earth, Wind and Fire, your music is just the same way as it is 25 years later to this day, you know?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. I know I've been kind of dropping so many gems on who you are, but I don't play about my people when they come on my platform.
Hey, I appreciate it. I need all this here.
Oh, look. LSG is going to make 25. We need to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And this is just super amazing, because for people like yourself to just talk about your legacy, that speaks volumes, you know?
Right on.
And it's just super proud of you. So I got another question to ask you, sir, since I did say next year you are making 25 years for Sex now. And you have released a single called Garage. I was dancing off that. Featuring Mike Jones. I want to ask you, what current projects do you have now, or what you have coming up for the future?
Well, I'm gonna try to keep on putting out music, man. That is, you know, that's all I know to do. I'm still motivated to make music. I know that the industry and the way things are done is totally different now than it was back in the day, and a lot of my compadres in the business, they aren't motivated to do that anymore, because it's like, what's the point? And I understand that, but for me, I still have so much creativity within me for music that's still going on. So I'm going to just try to flood you guys with as much music as possible. I still got the EP that I'm going to drop. I'm about to drop my second single. That's probably it'll be next year. I'm just trying to see which is gonna be the best time to do that. But I'm just gonna try to keep on going, man, and put out as much music as possible.
That is so dope. But I'm just super proud that you're still doing that, because I feel that, you know, a lot of y'all, the people that have been established or set a legendary, you know, legacy for yourself, I feel like you should always keep going. You know what I'm saying? Just because I feel that times, like I said, times are gonna always change. Music is gonna always change. But I feel like if you stay true to your authentic self, the music is going to supersede that, because you're coming from the heart, you know?
I agree. I
agree 100%. So, sir, since tomorrow is the 25th, the official day of the 25th anniversary of Levert.Sweat.Gill, God rest Gerald Levert soul.
Amen.
If you had to describe one word about this beautiful, timeless album today, what one word would it be?
Amazing. Amazing, because I'm still amazed to this day that the effect that record has on people, how they light up when they hear it, from back in the day all the way to right now. It still has the same effect on people. It's still, and it just was an amazing record. It was an amazing experience. It was an amazing opportunity. It was an amazing time period for music. So that's the one, to me, that's the word that encompasses everything about the record.
And you have the best song off the album.
That was amazing. You know
that part. And you know what? It's crazy, because like you said, amazing. I say it was soul, smooth and soul. And the reason why I said that is because coming with these three established artists, Gerald Levert, Johnny Gill, Keith Sweat, it was very interesting. Like I said, I feel like you're a pioneer too. And I talked to you earlier. I feel like you created TGT because let's be real, LSG, yes, was created by your song, but if it wasn't the influence of that creating Tang, Genuine, and Tyrese, we wouldn't have LSG. Let's be real.
Right. I can see that. I can see them being influenced by LSG because it kind of made
look at the acronyms.
To the looking at the success that they had.
Yeah.
You know, they were similarly the same type of artists that had followings and had hit records and you know what I'm saying? So I could see them being influenced by LSG. Yeah, I can see that easily.
But they ain't got no My Body, let's be real.
My Body, you know what I mean? If they would have reached out, they could have got it.
Look, somebody said that, okay? Look, let's be real. Like, one thing. let's be real. But I feel like if it wasn't for your song, you know, Link, I feel like people with yourself, you created people to make supergroups. Like, you know, you can be, you know, a solo artist, but if you're trying to establish something, because, you know, I don't know if you knew this, Donnell Jones and Dave Hoster was about to make a supergroup. You know what I'm saying? So it's your song and people like LSG that really are inspiring, you know, our R&B legends to even come out and do something collective as a whole, you know? And if it wasn't for, I feel like if it wasn't for your song, we wouldn't have that. And I'm truly thankful for that.
Well, thank you. I mean, you know, like I said, I can see the influence because they were so successful.
Yeah.
Soloists, and then to be able to come together with no egos and things of that nature and just make it was very successful. So I can see how it set the tone for supergroups.
But you should have been on the with the other supergroups to make them a hit.
Hey, listen, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. You know, it's all good. You know, I'm here though.
That part.
Yeah.
But I'm just messing with you, Lee. But like I said, I just feel like without your song, it wouldn't been a lot of influence for groups to this day with that inspiration, you know?
Right on.
No problem. Respect. So, last question for you, sir. You have any advice? Do you want to give to people like your like that you've been in the industry yourself, but any up and coming artists or any songwriters, producers? Because I have a lot of up and coming, you know, singers who really, really want to get their stuff in this industry. But I know times have changed. I want to know, what advice would you like to give them from the stuff that you dealt with from now for the new generation?
Okay. My advice hasn't changed over the years because I think it's the same formula for success from then to now. And one being, continue to just always work on your craft at all times. It doesn't matter what it is, just stay on point with it, because you never know when you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, just drop it at a quick notice. You know, just never know. Basically, just stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Okay, with your craft. Number two, just don't be discouraged by negativity or doors closing. Use that as motivation because you know you can't quit. You know what I'm saying? Just right when you give up, that's when you're gonna miss your blessing. You know what I'm saying? You keep going because everything is on God's timing. No matter how much we want things to happen and how fast we want stuff to happen, it's not up to us. You know what I'm saying? That's all of those things are preparation for the reward in the end. You know what I mean? And last but not least, and what's most important to me, you got to put God first in your life and ask him to guide you. Let him lead you so you can make the right decisions when it comes to making decisions about what to do, how to do it, and who to do it with. You know what I'm saying? If you put your faith in him and let him lead you, you cannot go wrong at all. So those are the three things that I've always told any artists, producers, writers, whatever, from back in the day, still right to this day, because I think it still holds true.
And that is so true. And I respect you preaching that, because I feel that I always want our legends to guide our young artists. But I feel like it should be the same too. Young artists should reach back and understand too of how this industry works, you know? And it's like yourself that's still here 25 years later, that's still bringing us timeless hits. But for you to set a legacy for all of us, that means so much to me in this world. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
So, but Link, are we gonna get a sex down too?
Well, you know, that's what I was supposed to be working on right now with Sex Down 2. I've been saying that for the longest. Sex Down 2 coming soon. Sex Down coming soon. You know what I mean? And I'm so hard on myself.
Yeah.
And Sex Down was such a huge record to try to live up to. I got to make Sex Down 2 even as more incredible. So it's coming. I'm just going to, like I said, I got to take my time, pick my spots, and trust me, when the floodgate open, they gonna open.
Okay.
At Vintage Link, you know what I mean?
I'm super proud, super proud. So, like I said, next year you got to do it big for Sex Down because it's the 25th anniversary. So I'm gonna be prepared for that next year. I'm excited.
No doubt about it.
But do you have any last words you'd like to tell the audience and everything for tonight and anything that you want to say about LSG?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming to me and giving me this opportunity to just kind of stay relevant and for you appreciating the music that I have given to the world, so to speak. I appreciate that. Without people like you, you know, artists like myself who are from the 90s, you know, it's kind of easy for us to be overlooked. So you keep doing what you're doing, man, not just for me, but for all of us that's repping in the R&B game. I appreciate you, Chastity, so much. Again, may my guy, Gerald Levert, rest in peace. I love him so much. He was the catalyst for us doing the My Body record. It was him. I was on the phone with him all the time. So I miss him tremendously, man. Shout out to Keith and Gerald for continuing to represent my record every time they get on stage. You know what I mean? So long live My Body. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Stay tuned. Y'all follow me, Link the Artist on IG. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing that garage, you know.
Garage, baby.
Come on. Hold on, Link. You gave me some church. Come on.
Hey, it's in the record. You know, it's all streaming sites right now. Video on YouTube, on Vivo. It's off the chain, man. Y'all make sure y'all go out and support that because that's very important. You know, we all say, well, we need some more R&B. We need some more R&B. Hey, the one way we can keep the R&B going is you guys got to support the records.
That's right.
And what I mean by support is go to YouTube, like the videos, download the joints, man, and blast them and spread the word.
Yeah, and I feel like it's my job too to make sure that word is still spread too. Because if I got a platform to even interview you and you got music, I need to make sure your music is always honored on my platform.
And I appreciate that.
You know, I got you. Look, so guys, we are done with my beautiful, beautiful interview, and I thank this legend so much for coming on my platform and making sure that I get his name correct, because I don't play them games over here. Hell to the no. But I'm honored and I'm so proud. Guys, we are done with our beautiful interview with the R&B singer and that songwriter, the one and only Mr. Link. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
God bless you. Bye-bye.